So the theme of today is overcome. And who hasn't had to overcome something? I know I have overcome a lot just in the past couple of years. And I kind of want to talk about the idea of just making your wounds part of your wisdom. It's often through our greatest struggles and even our pain that we find our greatest strength. And I would invite you today to think about some of the struggles you've been through and some of the pain you've been through and see if you can find a way to gain some strength from that. Even if it's hard, it may be a great thing to practice. One of the toughest things that we all go through in life is just finding ways to overcome and finding ways to move through the pain and emotional trauma. The one thing that we all know is you can't go around the pain. You have to move through it. And that for me has been a really difficult lesson. And it's really not about pretending you're not struggling and pretending you're not in pain, but maybe just acknowledging it and acknowledging it in a positive way and just seeing if that helps at all. I think we can learn from our pain and really learn from the life lessons that we've all been through. So I want to tell you a story. This is a really cute story about an app. Gosh, it's probably been a couple years, called Teacup. And it was a really great app. It was a lady got together about a dozen people, and each week we would get on our phones. It was audio only, and we would have a little tea room. And it was such a neat idea. Sometimes we would just talk about life events. Sometimes we would go through a little mini meditation. Sometimes it was just chit chat. And it was such a great concept. And unfortunately, there wasn't funding after the first year. And so she shut the app down. But I really loved the idea of kind of having a little tea room, a little space where you can come together and just talk about life and talk about your struggles, but also talk about your blessings. So one of the things that was so neat about this was before every tea room, we would do a little short blessing for the tea room. And I came up with one for mine, and I really loved the tone that it set. It was a really neat idea, and I think I would like to do that here. And it's just a quick little way to bless and honor kind of the sacred space that we're in. So if you'll allow me, I would love to do this little tea room blessing. So here it is. I bless this sacred space and everyone in it. I thank everyone for the honor of being here. Let us bless our struggles today. Where there is confusion, let us enable clarity. Where there is doubt, let us provide hope. Where there is fear, help us instill trust. Where there is worry, help us provide peace. Where there is loss, let us open the window and consider our blessings. Where there is conflict, let us create harmony. Let us take this moment to open the door of possibilities and choose how to move forward. So that is the little blessing. And I think it's a great way to just honor the sacred space that you're in. So, overcoming. This is a big lesson for everyone. I call this the conscious realization and awareness of the present moment, or crap. Let's just get the crap out there. If you can bless the crap, I think you can pretty much bless anything. So I came up with 10 ways that I can practice kind of this resting in awareness. And I try and follow these every day. I don't always get to each one every day, but I strive to practice these throughout my week. So every day, I try to find joy within each moment. And that's a really simple one to practice, even if it's sipping your coffee in the morning. That for me is a really joyful moment because I love my Nespresso coffee maker. It's wonderful. Strive to feel each experience and honor your feelings. If you're feeling pain, you can say, you know what? I'm sorry, body, that you're feeling pain, but I just want to honor this pain and I ask you to help me find some ways through it. Be authentic to the best of your ability. That is an important one, just to be yourself and to be authentic. Look within yourself for guidance. That, I think, is a really important one, that you don't always have to rely on outside sources. You can just look within yourself for guidance. The next one is focus on solutions, not necessarily problems. And I know we live in a world where we love to commiserate with everyone about our problems. I do it too. I love talking about the latest gossip or the fact that my back is killing me or my feet hurt. But I know every time I do that, I'm not necessarily helping myself move forward in any way. So just try and bless those things that are hurting on you and see if that helps. So belief is such an important tool. Believing in yourself and believing in the impossible. You know, you don't know what might happen next. Someone might see something you've been in and contact you and ask you to do something completely out of your wheelhouse. You don't know what you're capable of. So be committed to moving forward and practice what you preach. I have been guilty of not practicing mindfulness and meditation as much as I would like to. And that's something I'm trying to improve, is just remembering to take a few minutes a day and just sit in silence or listen to some nature sounds or running water or just anything and just sit and just be in the moment. Love yourself unconditionally. I have always struggled with this, and I think I'm starting to love myself even more the older I get. This is a neat one. Regard everyone and everything in your life as a mirror. So if there's someone that really ticks you off, chances are you're probably reflecting your own crap in them. And that may be a hard one to swallow, but I believe people come in and out of our life for a reason. And if there's a reason, uh, you can find it. And last but not least, believing in the idea of utilization, that you have everything you need to be unbelievably successful. And that is really the moral of the story. This idea of utilization. You have everything you need, sweetheart. You've got it. You've got the brains, you've got the skills, you've got the education, you've got everything you need to do whatever you want because life is a play. So just have fun. And I hope you've gotten some fun out of this session. Thanks, and we'll see you later.